Now, this is another huge question that I get asked a lot about productivity, and it's how can I find time to do X, Y, and Z that I know I need to be doing and should be doing to move my life forward, but how do I find time in a busy schedule? Well, the one thing that you can do, and everybody can do this, is to actually block out time to focus on a task or activity that is designed to help you move towards your goals, your dreams, and your aspirations. So what I'm talking about is when you block out time, you focus on one task at a time. So it's not blocking out an hour, and it's not answering text messages, emailing, talking to co-workers, talking to clients. What you're doing is you're heavily distracted, moving from one item to the next. Now, that's not going to help with your productivity. And actually, multitasking in that way can actually reduce your productivity by up to 20%. So to help you get more clarity on what it is you want and how you're going to achieve it, you block out time and you focus on one task during that time. So there's no distractions. There's no emails pinging off in the background. Your phone is out the way, so your mobile phone is not pinging off. You're not getting social media notifications. If you work in a busy office, you tell those people that you work with that for the next hour, next 45 minutes, you're focused purely on the task at hand. So you're not to be disturbed. Close the office door. Wear noise cancelling headphones. And that's the signal to people in your office. If you've got your headphones on, you're busy working on a particular task or activity. So they know not to disturb you, okay? Under pain of death, not to disturb you. And it's important because your time is really, really important. And it's understanding that you need to protect that time. And you block out 45 minutes to an hour and you focus on one task and you focus purely 100% on that task. And what you can find is when you start doing that, because your concentration is on that one thing, that one task at hand, it can help you overcome obstacles and challenges because you can see things a lot clearer. You're not having to switch your concentration from talking to a client, talking to a co-worker about a different subject, answering a text message, answering an email on all these different subjects that are firing at you. Your train of thought, it's really important that we keep your train of thought going on the same subject matter. And it means you can be highly productive in that time because you're not losing your train of thought. You've got 100% focus on what it is you're actually working on. Now, this is a great way to increase your productivity. But how do you find the time in a busy schedule? Well, one of the most important things that you can do, and everybody can do, is to have a wake-up time and a bedtime that we actually stick to pretty much every single day. If you're kind of going to bed really late and just getting up whenever, that's not great for productivity. This is a number one tip. For productivity, you've got to have a bedtime and you've got to have a wake-up time that's very similar every single day. Now, maybe over the weekend, if you're not working, you can allow a little bit of extra time. But that doesn't mean that you sit up till 1, 2 o'clock at night and just get up whenever, because you can still use the weekend, right, to work on your goals. So don't use the weekend as an excuse to not work on your goals. But maybe if you start work, for example, let's say you start work at 9 and you work, say, 9 to 5. Let's use the traditional kind of 9 to 5 working hours. Well, could you get up at, say, 6 o'clock in the morning and block out the first hour and a half for yourself before the rest of your household gets up? In that time, you can get up, you can use the bathroom, have a shower, make your cup of coffee if you like your cup of coffee in the morning, or get your glass of water, whatever it is you want to do. Then you can set yourself up if you're working on your computer and spend out that hour and a half. You might find you get an hour, you might get an hour's 15 of purely focused work on the task that you're working on. So there's already an hour, maybe an hour's 15's work. So let's say your household gets up at, say, 7:30. Then you can spend a little bit of time with your household before you go off to work and school and college and whatever everybody else does. But you do the same in the evening. You get through work and then you can block off an hour towards the end of the day, maybe from 8:30 till 9:30. And then you focus another hour working on your tasks and your projects that are going to help move your life towards those goals that you're looking to achieve. Because let's face it, if it's a big goal you're looking to achieve, it's not only to benefit you, but it's also to benefit those that you love in your life. So it benefits those as well. So if you explain to them what they're doing, what you're doing, and the reasons why you're doing it, they will understand. And in those times, you've still got quality time. So when you finish work at 5, you've still got quality time till 8:30 to spend with your family, to spend with those that you live with. But you finish at around about 9:30. So no later, Because what I want you to be able to do is then have a realistic bedtime. Now, 10 o'clock is a great bedtime, or 10:30 maybe at the latest, because that way, if you get up at 6 o'clock, you can still get your 7 hours of sleep a night. Productivity tip number 2, it's really important to get at least 7 hours sleep every single night. But if you're staying in bed all day, and I know people that do this, they go to bed late and they just don't get up and they're spending 10 hours in bed, that's not going to help your productivity, okay? 7 hours is good for your sleep. It gives you a chance for your body to recover itself from the stresses of the day. It gives you a chance for your brain to do its things that it needs to do overnight. But this is something that you can do, is to block out some time, and it's 100% focus on the task at hand. So if you live in a busy household, let them know when you're working on that particular task, that particular project. If you're in a busy office, let those around you know. Put your noise cancelling headphones on, so when you've got them on, they know not to disturb you. Find a quiet office, shut the door. Remember, your time is important, and we all have the same amount of time, but it's about using our time wisely. And it's about being as productive in that time as we can. If we're multitasking with several different things coming at you at once, productivity level is going to drop. And what's going to end up with is you're going to feel a bit frustrated because you're not achieving the level of productivity that you know you're capable of achieving. But it's actually because what we're not actually doing is we're not controlling those outside. And they are controllables, because we just need to let people know what's going on in our life, that what we need to focus on. So if you've not done this before, think about even getting up a little bit earlier, okay? If 6 o'clock is a little bit too early, but you don't start working till 9, well, maybe think about 6:30. Spend that time really wisely in the morning. You'd be amazed at what you can actually achieve first thing in the morning, when the rest of the world is still asleep. You haven't got your emails going off. You haven't got your social media pinging at you, because let's face it, a lot of people are still in bed at that time. So it's a great time to get that productivity. And imagine doing that every single day. If you did that, say Monday to Friday, and you spent, let's say, an hour and a half to 2 hours every single day, that could be up to 10 hours a week working on your goals, working towards your dreams and your aspirations. Can you imagine how much progress you will make in that time? That's a phenomenal amount of progress. You're spending over a day of focused work, highly concentrated work, working on what's important to you. 10 hours. And then imagine if you spent a couple of extra hours at the weekend. How much difference would that make to your life, but also to the lives of those around you that you love? If you've got goals and dreams of things that you want to achieve, that you want to have in your life, places that you want to go, would this help you take those steps towards achieving those goals and these dreams? Just by a simple act of focused work while you block out time and you work on your goals 100%. I hope that helps give you some ideas of how you can use time blocking. Until next time, I'm Adrian. Nice to see you soon.